thank you, Nick, for doing that if you are around. One thing that we are going to do is, which is a bit of feedback from a few people, is that they wanted to see us and see us going. So we're going to put the video on, and we're going to have the video running so that you can see me and so forth in there. So we will get that video in the background, and Don's going to have his video running as well. So let's jump into today's session, and we will get moving. Looking forward to some really good feedback. So as we always do, the modern workplace is designed for being an activity-based environment. And one of the things that main topics of today is about headsets and how they can help with us. But before we jump into there, we're going to cover off our tips of the week. So my first tip that I want to talk to you about is something that I saw was amazing yesterday. We had an opportunity to do a presentation in the Microsoft office, and Nick and the guys from Microsoft in Sydney were in Sydney, and we were in Brisbane with a couple of clients, and Nick presented on the whiteboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over OneNote, and we're using OneNote to present and use a whiteboard in our presentation. And what it gave was a really clear description of it. So all we've done in here is I've opened up OneNote, and I'm therefore using OneNote to present and draw documents with, and draw screens, and I can draw with that, record it, keep it going, share those documents out there. So you get that visual side of using your OneNote, or more importantly, using a PowerPoint, a whiteboard in your presentations, rather than everything being on PowerPoint. Because as we know, and as we've all been taught, the fact that going through a whiteboard and using the whiteboard to present how you're working and what you want to work with gives you a better engagement with your clients. So that's my tip of the week, using OneNote from there. Don is going to cover off you're going to also talk about switching between headsets, but adding in a user. So what we're going to do is, you're there, Don. So yeah, we'll get you to present your screen in a minute. But before we flick over to you, Don, and get you using it, I just want to go through one thing. So today we've got the opportunity for you guys to get involved. So there are people on the call to get involved in this. And what we're going to do is we want you to share. So I'm going to open up the lines that you guys can instant message. So I'm going to let you bring in instant messaging on there. Ben is going to be sitting on the side and keeping an eye out with the best tip that we get from our listeners. So anything that you think you find extremely useful in Office 365, Word, Excel, Skype for Business, OneNote, all of those sort of things, and you're prepared to share that with us, then that person which we choose at the end of today's session is the best tip, will win a Voyager Focus UC headset, the one that I've got on today. So I'm a great presenter of the ability to present what the headset looks like, because I've got no hair covering it all up. But this is the UC headset, and I've been using it for about 3 weeks now, and it is absolutely amazing. And we're going to talk about those. So jump on the instant message. Tell us what tip you've got for our listeners. Those that we might use them on other things, but the one that Don decides is the best tip for today is going to win a UC headset, and we'll send it out to you. So pretty awesome. So Don, do you want to do me a favour and share your screen?
Yep.
So that you can finish off the presentation.
Now, present. Okay. All right. Wait until I can see what everyone else is seeing there, that my screen has come. Okay, it's come across there. So let me just shuffle that off to the side. Let me just quickly give my tip, Trev.
Yes,
what I was going to do, if I can in this meeting, was show you. I haven't got the rights in that meeting. No, usually what you're able to do in a meeting, up where this little record button is, there's usually a person icon with a plus symbol next to it. So if you're in a meeting, if Trevor and I were in a meeting and we wanted to pull Roland into the call, then we could pretty just quickly click on the plus sign next to the person up there, type in Roland's name, and that would send him an invitation. He'd get that in his Skype for Business client, and bang, he'd get pulled into the call straight away. I use that a lot. As you can see on the left, my corporate Skype for Business client is running there, and that's how I use when I need to pull colleagues into meetings. So let me just fire up this little PowerPoint for you. and just run through with you what I was going to cover today for the guys around where headsets fit into use of Office 365, and especially around Skype for Business and meetings and making calls and audio over Skype for Business, and just to cover off.
What I wanted to cover off, and Roland just has joined the call, so Roland, I don't know if you want to jump in and have a bit of a chat, but one of the things that I've always found is where, as we start to get into these open planned, using Skype for Business, using those sort of things, is what's the best headset to use. And I must admit, as not being a technical person, I really don't understand the benefits of all the technology that's available now with these headsets and so forth. And it's only been now, as I'm doing more and more presentations, that I'm picking it up. So that's why we asked Don to come on board and do that. So, yeah, we love Plantronics headsets. There's no question about that. Roland, as Roland was saying, we go around and we're always showing everybody what headset we're using at the moment, and we think they're the best. But more importantly, it's about that concept of the technology that even we don't understand that's available in headsets nowadays. So that we've got you on board. So let's go through. Let's talk about this first thing, the slide you're going through, which is a really interesting
which is interesting as you speak about that, Trevor. And what we're seeing as organisations adopt what you could call a soft phone or a UC client on their PC, and mix that in with open plan office environments. The challenge of not just can you hear what someone else is saying to you when you're on a call, but actually what's the other person hearing, and added into that is open plan office environments. This challenge that we're seeing from some global research we conducted in 2013, one of the biggest impacts on the ability to focus and concentrate for users is actually external ambient noise. So for us, it's out there, and what technology can we bring to play as people are using headsets in calls like we're on now to help users focus on their work, to concentrate, and importantly, to hear and also to be heard. So you can just see there across different types of workers in an organisation, this issue of being affected by ambient noise is something that we've picked up from research, and certainly something that we then look at what's the technology we can use to address that.
Yeah, there's nothing more distracting, I suppose, is it's not only for the person on the other end of the call, but when you're in the session and you hear other people in the office, you think, and if you're thinking, oh, is everybody else hearing what I'm doing? It distracts you of your train of thought and all of those things as well. So it's ambient noise coming through your microphone, but it's also that what you're hearing as the individual whilst you're on the call.
Yeah, and so there's a couple of elements of technology that we bring to it in designing our headsets for use in office environments. The first is around how we help to cancel the noise that you as a user hear from the environment around you, and that's through design of the cushions, headsets, and the technology in the speaker element of it. The second point, though, is what the person on the other end of the call is hearing, and that's where the microphone technology starts to play a really important piece, and is quite often the piece of the puzzle that I won't think about because I'm not sure how you're all hearing me on this call, because I can't hear myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, you're coming through pretty clear, so that's easy to see. But I know that I've had situations where I've done presentations and been doing training sessions and that, and if there's a crackle or anything that's distracting, people just don't hear what you're saying, and it really distracts them on the other side. And you're sitting there going, oh, and if you hear someone comes back and says, I can't hear you too well. The other issue you get is that, can you hear me? Can I hear you? It's that, using it on a regular basis, because most of the time you spend about 10 minutes mucking around trying to work out who's hearing who and what can't you do. And I must admit, now that I've been using Office 365 and Skype for Business so much now, we don't get any of that. Everybody's straight onto the call now, and we don't get any of those issues. But you've got to use it, don't you? You've got to be using your technology so that you're not getting that. It's, that it becomes just like using a phone.
Yeah, and I think one of the easiest approaches to take as an end user, so taking my vendor hat off and just speaking as an end user, is kind of looking around at what headsets have I got lying around at home, and maybe pulling something up like a pair of iPhone earbuds and thinking, oh, well, I'll grab those and I'll just use those on a call, I may hear pretty well what's going on in the call, but actually what's Trevor hearing and what's Roland hearing and what are Nick hearing, that's the real crucial question in how we communicate, is how are the other people hearing us? And I'll flip over to one of these in a moment and put some background noise on so you can pick up what the microphone technology delivers to that. So in looking at it, and there's a couple of headsets I'll talk about, is I guess understanding having a good noise cancelling microphone becomes really important in business communications. And secondly is this element of active noise cancelling, so users themselves can focus and concentrate on what they're doing.
Yeah, I know you're going to cover that off in a minute, but before we go, we've got options we've got available are a wired headset, a wireless headset, and a Bluetooth headset, really, isn't it? They're the three options. But all of them have got all the Bluetooth ones. Can you just maybe cover off a bit of the difference between this wired, wireless, and Bluetooth, and maybe jump into the first headset that you've got as an example? Yeah,
sure. So if you look at the way we build headsets as a vendor, is what we call a corded or a wired headset is something that has a cord and is plugged into a desk phone, or is it plugged into a laptop, a tablet, etc. In the Office 365 Skype for Business world, that's going to be a corded USB headset. Generally helps us to keep the price point a bit more affordable, and it ends up being you've either got one ear or you've got two ears. You'll always have a boom microphone, so we can get that noise cancelling microphone capability. And then it's really just how much of the technology components that we deliver do we build into them. So corded USB headset is about taking something that looks like this, and the user takes the USB plug and sticks it into their PC or their docking station, and it's plug and play. Away they go. Got some controls in line to be able to handle it. You then start looking.
But with that, Don, you don't have that flexibility of being able to, move away from your desk and all of those sort of things. So that's the issue with that is really the only issue, because I have previously heard a lot of people just say that it's just so much easier to manage a wired headset. They just feel that it's a lot easier to manage that than having all the different other options being Bluetooth and wireless and so forth.
Yeah, there's that element of you plug it in, it's going to enumerate in Windows, it's going to get going in Skype for Business. Is the positives are the pros for it. The con is the user is physically tied to their laptop, their Surface. We kind of see in your commercial and enterprise deployments of Skype for Business, that may be where the IT department starts thinking they're going to have their deployment, and they may end up with maybe 40 to 50% of users on a corded headset, but there's a big percentage of them that want to use some form of wireless technology so that they're free, they can get up and walk around, they're not tied physically to the desk. And that's where there's two wireless technologies in there. What we call a wireless headset, it's DECT, D-E-C-T, the acronym, or Bluetooth. Yeah. Realistically, the difference, DECT will give you much longer range. We say up to 100 meters line of sight. Bluetooth, in general, is somewhere between 10 and 30 meters that you're going to get line of sight. And they're the differences. So if someone's in the office, just going to be in the office all the time, then they're probably going to go for a DECT wireless headset. Someone who is more of a road warrior, has calls on their smartphone and their tablet and their laptop, they're probably going to be a Bluetooth user.
Cool. So jump in and show us the black wired. Show us the first one, the wired one.
Yeah. So the first one, and I'm focusing, all of these are focusing on either noisy open plan office environments or people that are highly mobile in their roles, and what headset technologies are available for them. So the Blackwire 725, this is what it looks like here on the screen for you. It's just a straight corded USB headset. It's dual ear because we deliver active noise cancelling, so to help someone to focus and work and concentrate in a noisy open plan environment. But it's plug and play, easy controls on the inline plug, and reasonably easy to manage from that perspective. absolutely certified Skype for Business, so in terms of using with Office 365 and a plug-and-play approach, not a problem there. To do a bit more of a tour on the product, if you like, USB connection, in on the puck that we call it, the inline control, there's a PC button, that's for answer and end of your call. There's a toggle up and down, that's for your volume control, and then there is a mute button. That's pretty simple and intuitive for the users. On the side then is a little switch that can slide up or down to turn active noise cancelling on or off. That can be dependent on the environment you're in. If you're sitting in a cafe and need to do a call and plug it in, you're probably going to turn active noise cancelling on just to help you concentrate and focus.
Well, and that's the point of the activity-based, the multiple. Roland talks about the different workstations or workplaces that you've got, and we're seeing more and more that the cafe is becoming a place where you work from, and by having the headset on, you can block out all that background noise. And I know for myself, you're going to show a couple of these, but one of the headsets that I use is Nick and I do joke around, and we're testing it, and he's in a cafe or somewhere else where you get some other liquid beverages from, and he'll be saying, where am I? Can you hear I am? And you cannot hear anything in the background. It's absolutely amazing technology on that noise cancelling microphone, because it only picks up what you're saying, not everything else in the background.
Yeah. And that one, and it's good you've touched on it, is the second important point to be looking at in a headset for business use. If you're on the road, but in general, is this element of a noise cancelling microphone. So, just quickly, what is that doing? So, on the end of this boom, there is a microphone that's sampling the sound that is external in the environment, and there's a microphone on the inside of the boom that's picking up your voice as you speak. So the noise cancelling microphone technology is designed that the pickup of the noise externally, we process that signal and reduce how much of that's transmitted, but the noise that it picks up, or the sound it picks up, from your voice, which is on the inside of the boom, is what is predominantly transmitted across. So although you may be in a noisy environment, and I'm just going to turn on a bit of cafe background noise here for me now, is you should not be hearing the background noisy cafe environment that I'm playing, but you should just be hearing my voice. The only way you can really test this out is when you throw on an iPhone earbud style headset that has only a single microphone, because all it's going to do is pick up everything and transmit everything. So that's when a noise cancelling.
Are you going to do that for us now, or is that something you're going to do?
Yeah. Well, let me just jump out of my presentation there and just go in here. You'll see I've got my iPhone style earbud here. So I'm just going to drop that into my ear. I'm going to go here to devices, and you can see I've got the speakerphone is playing the background noise. I'm going to cut over to this custom device, which is this iPhone earbud, and turn it on. And that's now come on. And so you guys, can you now hear the background noise that's going on?
The quality of your voice has changed dramatically as well. It's a real echoey sound as well coming through.
Yeah, and that's where, for me as the end user, all I'm going to do is ramp up the volume I'm getting in my earpiece. And that's going to give me the capacity to hear you, but I have no capacity to reduce that background noise you're hearing.
Yeah, and you're selling because you can hear it as well. Distracts you, distracts the user, and all of those sort of things. But it's also the voice quality. If you keep that going and just turn off the background noise, and listen to that.
Turn off this background noise playing. So that's now got rid of the background noise, but I'm still on my iPhone earbuds.
Yeah, so just keep talking. So it's just a lot quieter and a lot softer, and there's no...
So I'm just in my normal home office environment. There's not a lot happening. Fortunately, the kids are downstairs, so they're not disturbing me at the moment. But the real tester of that, if I'm in the Qantas lounge and I'm having to go down to Canberra, that there's a noise element in the background for me. So I'm just going to cut back over to my... See? There we go. And I'll trigger that background. I've still got that background noise on.
Yeah, and you can barely hear anything, but your voice is just so much more crisper. It's so much nicer to hear. So it's really interesting, this active noise cancelling. It's not only for the microphone the other way, but it's also for what you're hearing in the background is so important.
Yeah. So there's two elements. One is that noise cancelling on the microphone itself, and the second is active noise cancelling in the speakers. And let me just really quickly touch on the technology that's behind it. So there's active noise cancelling in the headset itself. So really what it's aimed to do is isolate for the user the ambient noise that's around them. The best kind of parallel or illustration that I use is you think of your Bose headsets that you might use on an aeroplane when you're flying to cut out that hum of the aircraft engine noise. So what we've done is brought that same technology into an office headset so that you're starting to block out some of the background noise around you. So this ANC technology, all we're doing, again, we're sampling the background noise signal, that's the blue sine wave there, and then just calculating what the effective anti-noise is for that based on the signal sampling, and then we just overlay the anti-noise onto what is coming through the speaker and just pump out a little signal of that anti-noise, and all that does is just give you a net sum of 0. So it gives you a much quieter environment that you as the user of the headset is hearing.
So when I started using that originally, when I got this headset, I think I mentioned to you, I got a little bit of a irritation from it, but I must admit now I've got them on all the time. I don't get anything like that. I must have gotten used to that sound. The other thing is it doesn't cut it out completely. So if someone does come up and talk to me, I can hear them still. So it's not just blocked out completely that I'm oblivious to what's going on around me in the office. I can still hear some of the noise that's going on, but it does block out the annoying bits of, I work from home, so kids coming in the doorbell ringing, dogs barking, all of those sort of things that will frustrate me.
Yeah, you would have seen me turn around a little earlier on. My son came to the door to ask me a question. I was like, no, I'm in a meeting. I can't talk to you now. So that's that active noise cancelling technology we deliver into that black wire that I just spoke about, and then the headset you and I are wearing at the moment, Trevor, which is the Voyager Focus you see, and I'll quickly touch on that as we get towards the end of this. But mindful of time, I guess let me jump on and talk about some of these Bluetooth headsets that you have capability to. So I'll just quickly skip past these. Both of these in our Voyager family are designed for someone who uses both computer and mobile. And computer considers tablet, computer, mobile, Bluetooth enabled. Both of them have this little adapter, and that's what goes into your laptop or PC, and that's part of what gives you the voice quality that you commented on, Trevor, is we're delivering HD voice or band audio because of the processing we do in that little adapter. That question I often get asked, can I just pair it to my Windows device? We recommend that you use the little adapter because the audio quality, what the other person hears, is just so much better.
It's more about the voice, isn't it? The voice.
Absolutely.
Going through, not because you can always just use the Bluetooth to watch a movie on the plane and so forth, but it's really the voice.
Yeah.
It's that little crackle at the end of it. When you're using it. So I've been using the Voyager Legend for years now, 2 or 3 years, I think. I just can't remember. It's something that we do. We have and we use it when we're traveling and so forth. I've not had the over-the-ear headsets, but when I'm in the office, I find the over-the-ear concept really has helped me with my presentations and that. And I do get a slight little crackle from using the Legend headset. We were talking and testing it with one of our clients and so forth, and it just getting this tiny little crackle. One of the things you guys do recommend is that you update when you're using this. You use the Plantronics. What do you call the
Plantronics Hub?
The
software.
Hub. That's it. Yeah.
So that
keeps
just
all
gives
your
you
updates.
That keeps you up to date with as we release firmware for the headset itself. So this is really designed, and let me just quickly flick over to it now. go back here and again change my device.
Just while you're doing that, Don, Ben, I'm just going to ask him how many ideas have we got, tips have we got, just for those that are on the call might want to get in. We're going to be closing those off in the next minute.
We currently only have 3, so they're going to be all in the run right now. They're
all in the running, so you've got about a minute to get your tips in to go into the draw to win one of these. They're valued at $350, so it's not... if you've got some ideas that you can share, it's time to get it in. I can see Dave's typing a message immediately now because he's thinking he can get in. Dave, it's not open to employees of HubOne.
So let me quickly then flick this back up. So as a mono Bluetooth headset, really designed for when you're on the road and in the office, it will be actively paired to 2 devices at any one point in time. So at the moment this is paired and I'm talking to you through my laptop, but if a call came in on my mobile, I could choose to take it there. Excellent performance in terms of noise reduction and in windy environments. And what we deliver in terms of battery life, 7 hours of talk time, so that's 7 hours on the phone each day. And then you see down the bottom right hand corner there's a little carry case it comes with. That actually has a battery in it that recharges the headset. So it ends up giving you effectively 21 hours of talk time on the device. The kind of cool thing, one of the cool things I like about this headset is this smart sensor technology that we built into it. So it's capacitive sensing on the headset. So when a call comes in, all I need to do is put the headset on and that will answer the call for me. If I can't find my headset and a call's come in on my mobile, well, I can just swipe and answer the call on my mobile and pick the call off my mobile. I find my headset, throw the headset on, and we'll just automatically transfer the audio there for you.
Yeah, so I'm sure everybody's seen, the whole team at HubOne have got one of these, and I think we're the only guys walking around, especially Sydney, with them in permanently because it's just so easy to answer a call, listen to texts, all of those sort of things. And I'll see people walking and running and jogging, and they're walking along with their hand, with their phone, and they're next to their ear, thinking, how hot's that getting next to your ear? And this stuff is just amazing. And what's the price point of the Voyager?
The Legend.
Yeah.
You'd be seeing it on the street probably around the 260 to 280 mark for the Legend UC variant. So that comes with the dongle, with the carry case. That's a charger, and with the little USB desk stand as well. So that's
and one thing is, because that's quite a big unit, and just what I touched on there is the having the headset is safer than putting the mobile phone next to your ear.
Yeah. Yeah, the output of the Bluetooth radio stack is substantially lower than the antenna power strength coming out of your 3G, 4G antenna on a mobile phone. Absolutely.
All right. Well, understanding we're running out of time, so we're going to have to go a little bit over, but let's jump in and go into the piece de resistance, the thing that everybody wants today. Let's have a talk about the Voyager Focus UC.
Voyager Focus UC has really been designed for kind of that mobile worker who works in a noisy open plan office. It adds this noise cancelling technology. We've got our sensor technology just like in the Legend for it. It has awesome hi-fi stereo sound. So if you want to sit and listen to, Spotify through the day as you're working and concentrating, it brings all of those 3 elements together into one headset. So you don't have to have your headset for your music and your headset for your mobile and your headset for your PC. It lumps them all into one. So it gives you the capacity, be on a call like this, jump on your mobile, listen to tunes, all in one element. So a quick overview of it. The microphone is very similar to the microphone on the Voyager Legend UC. Little mute button on the underside lets you mute. There's some online indicators so people around you can see when you're on a call.
I didn't know that. I can't see it on mine. So what colours come on from there?
This flashes blue on and off when you're on a call.
So if you're on a call, it's blue. If you're off a call, it's red, is it? Or?
No, if you're off a call, there's no lights.
Oh, okay.
If you're on a call, it's just flashing blue on and off. Then got ability to answer or end a call on that button on that side. And on the opposite side is your volume up, down, track forward for your music controls. And on the bottom is the little button to turn active noise cancelling on or off. Excellent. It ships with a desktop charging stand, So you can drop your headset into the cradle during the day and it'll recharge it. In terms of battery life on this guy, you're looking at 15 hours of listening to music time and 12 hours of talk time. So if you have a 12-hour conference call, then this will deliver you performance across all of that. And then finally, from a noise cancelling element, the design of the ear cushions itself has been such to deliver you this passive noise cancelling element, which just blocks out the environment around you even more. Super comfortable.
I'm just listening to the difference in the voice quality. You might want to whack your Voyager Focus UC on while we finish off this, so that we can hear it. So let's, like, I'm sure everybody's got a few questions. If you've got anything that you wanted to ask, come through to any of us, and we'll get that information through from there. But I'm just going to grab back the presentation, wary that we're running down to the end of time. And I just can't find my mouse anywhere. So let me see if I can. I've lost the joy of all these multiple screens. Let me present my desktop environment. Can you hear me okay, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Just worried that I've got my mouse is not playing for me right now. Come on, what are you doing? All right, now I should be able to do it. Sorry, it's just my mouse has gone a little bit touchy for some reason. Work that out a bit later on. Tell me, it's going to bring it up, so I'm just going to fly through. I just realised that I should have been clicking through their presentation, so it'll come up in a second. So while we're doing that, Ben, how many
tips have we got? It's Roland. I'm looking at the IM window, Trev, and we got 4 or 5 tips. So the odds are pretty good at the moment, much better than the lottery, for sure. So
all right.
Yeah.
So let's bring forward. So Ben, have you got the top 3 for us today that we can, or would you like to do that, Roland? That you can give us 3 to Don, and then Don can make the final decision as to who's going to win it. So why don't you ready? Would you like to do that, Don?
Yeah, I'm ready. I've had a look through them, so I don't know if Roland wants to
give finalists.
No, yeah, Don, I think it's up to you as the independent,
There's only a few there.
There's a few there. The one actually that stands out for me is the one from Andrew Rose, where he says, I use Office Lens for taking pictures of a whiteboard or butcher's paper, and then I upload it to OneNote to insert as part of meeting notes in OneNote. End of the meeting, I can then forward the client the meeting notes along with copies of the whiteboard diagrams. That's just kind of starting to pull the physical media into digital and sharing it back with the clients. That sounds fantastic. So that would be my pick.
Fantastic. There you go, Andrew. Congratulations that you've you've won that today. Thank you, Don, for bringing that to our session and coming on board. I've learnt a few things already, so you're constantly learning in our game, and because we're accountants and we're working in this space, we're always it's a lot of this stuff is new to us. We're going headlong into to different active working places. Andrew, I know, has just recently started up his own business working with his previous partners. So congratulations, Andrew. I know you'll be able to use this headset extremely, in your office. You are in an open plan office, which is all the things that we're going for. So that's fantastic. So let me see if I can just get... Boy, my mouse is being really difficult with me today. So if I can't move a slide along... Okay, let's see, we've got it. So for everybody else, don't despair. We've got something that we've been working with the guys on. So we've got a store. If you haven't done it, we've got a special price the Focus UC on the store. So we're going to be offering a 10% discount until Christmas Day for anybody on the call. Write down the coupon code HubOne Xmas present. That's a code you need to put in to get your 10% discount. The Focus UC, I'm going to get on the phone with Dave, and I haven't passed this on to him. We're going to be offering that at a better price. We're going to be offering the Focus UC at 20% off the usual recommended retail price. So normally $358. It's going to be down to around about $280 or something like that. But I'll get that exactly right. You'll see that through there. So that's a huge offer. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Plantronics, for sponsoring what we're doing. You guys love the concept that we're working to, this modern workplace, the modern, it's great that you can share with us the benefits you get from there.
Yeah, listen, thank you. Appreciate you reaching out and letting me spend some time chatting with you guys today.
Fantastic.